Welcome to Dyeing with Ice and Snow. Today I'm going to be dyeing with snow, and I'm just going to show you the little procedure, the first few steps till it's time to put it in the oven, and then we're going to make another video to show what happens after. So I have my drippings pan right here, and I have my suspension unit, and then here's the pan that I am going to put the actual wool on. And per your instructions, I pre-acidified or acidified, I don't know how to say it, your wool. I guess if we were doing natural dyeing, you'd say that we pre-mortared it. So here's my 1/4 yard of wool. I'm going to put it down, and I try to make sure that it's not folded over on itself. There's some dye already on this pan, and I just let that be a happy piece of magic. I don't worry about what's going to happen, because this is all just an event of joyousness and delight. So we should encourage that. You just want to make sure that there's no folds under like that, because this part of the wool won't get any dye on it. So you just want to make little crumples and hills and valleys, not unlike you do when you're making a spot dye. Now I try to, when we're getting snow, and camera guy got the snow, so I had said to him, I want lumps and bumps, not a smooth packed pile of snow. And I usually have this set up like this already because, you know, you can see snow's already falling off, and it has already started to melt a little bit. I usually bring the snow in last. So I'm just going to shovel in and pile up, and I have to be careful not to tip my tray too. And of course you can do this with ice cubes. I've got plenty of snow, so that's what I'm using. So now I've got it too heavy on the one side, and I've got to balance that up. And I just want to make sure that I get all of the wool covered up. I don't really want to see any wool. So I'm going to use my hands now, because I am Canadian. Get all of this around so that all of the bits are covered. Camera guy, have I got it covered on the other side? Do I need a piece here?
Yep. Okay.
Sometimes being short has its disadvantages. Okay, I think I need one more piece here. And that's about what you want it to look like. Okay, let me dry my hands off, because when you go to touch your dye, you do not want to have wet hands. We'll move the snow to the side, and now I'm going to choose some colors. So I'm going to be crazy and go nuts, and we already talked in our directions about how some colors are prilled and they won't dissolve very nicely, but I don't really care about that. I'm going to go ahead and use whatever colors I want to. I'm going to start with turquoise, and I'm using Magic Carpet dyes. You can use whatever dyes you want. I just happen to have a lot of them. And I am just tapping this color on here, and I'm going to try not to talk when I'm tapping, because although the dye is very attracted to a wet surface, I don't feel like breathing any in. Okay, so what I'm doing now is looking for areas where there might not be any. I'm going to put some in there. Now once you put the dye on, please don't touch it, because that spoils the effect of what you're going for. So there's the turquoise. I'm going to put some moss green on there now. No, I'm not. I'm going to put some yellow on. I'm a changeable kind of person. So you want to make sure, if you're using the same dye spoon, that it's clean. So I'll just use a little bit of snow here to clean this spoon off, because I don't want to put turquoise in with my yellow. And that is really important when you're dealing with dry dyes. You don't want cross-contamination, because every time you use yellow after that, you're going to have some turquoise interference. have a tendency to always want to make green. It's kind of unfortunate. Although, maybe good, because in road cooking we always need a lot of green. Okay, that's for that color. Again, I have to clean off my spoon. Actually, if I had been wise, I would have had some boiling water here, and I would have been able to easily clean it off, because the hot water not only cleans it off, it also makes it dry, which is what you're looking for. Alright, now I'm going to put some red violet on here. And each dye has its own consistency, so it's going to act differently according to, on the snow, according to how it's actually made. Some are like cake mixes, as I like to describe it. Some are more like salt, in that they're, you know, almost granular. Those are the prilled ones. So your tapping might have to turn into shaking. Sorry for all the throat clearing.
It's like a shepherd's pie for clowns.
I don't know if you heard that, but camera guy says it's like a shepherd pie for clowns. Yeah. Some really happy clowns. Sort of looks like some magical mountains in a strange avant-garde piece of artwork. So now I'm going to put blue on, and I already know that my blue doesn't dissolve easily. It really needs a lot of boiling water to make it dissolve. So I'll recognize that I'm probably not going to actually see the color blue. And that's okay with me. And you see, this time I have to shake it off. This is why taking this class is so good, because there's only so much I can explain to you in my Road Cooking Magazine articles. And there's a lot more to explore than I can actually do there, too. Okay. I think I'm going to put some black on it. Not very much. Okay, I think that's it. We'll see what comes of it. Thanks so much. What we're going to do now is put it in our area to melt. You do not touch it, because if you start, even right now, if I go in and start spraying things, I'm going to ruin what's happening. What you want to do is just let everything melt naturally and slowly. And when you see no more snow, we're just going to put it right in the oven. So I'll be back when it's time to take it out of the oven, and I'll show you what you can do to ameliorate some of the things that have happened actually before we put it in the oven. Alright, thanks for joining me. Have a great day.